Hello, my name's David Knee and I'm the Chief Investment Officer at Prudential. I'm here once again with Dr. Mike Posthumus.
Hello everyone.
This is the fourth video in the series. The previous three videos, the first two covered training principles, and we'd absolutely recommend that you look at those. And the third video related to nutrition and what's the best way to kind of fuel yourself and give yourself the energy during a race to keep going and get yourself to the end in a relatively happy fashion. But today we're going to be talking about riding with a partner. So there'll be you and a teammate who will be slogging your way around the countryside between PE and PLETT. So Mike, for people who are riding with a partner, should they be training with that partner? How should they kind of be thinking about kicking off?
Well, firstly, about partnerships. A partnership can really make or break your experience in a race. It can really make it an extreme amount of fun, or it can really break the experience and spoil the experience for you. So it is important to pick the correct partner. One of the most important rules about picking the correct partner is to ensure that your partner is similarly matched. Now, it is always nice to train with a partner to ensure that you are similarly matched. It's a nice way to ensure and to hold each other accountable to your training, and to also ensure that you are similarly matched as you progress and get stronger leading into the event. So from that perspective, it is very nice to train with your partner, but it isn't a make or break. If you are not able to train with your partner, ensuring that you are both completing a similar training program that is going to prepare both of you for the event is perfect. So it isn't a must, but sometimes it is preferred.
Right. So, if people have adopted the training program that you've put together, then that would ensure that that the partners kind of arrive at the line in a kind of similarly with a similar level of fitness.
Yes. So if they had started the training program on a similar level, both completed the training program, they'll surely be at a similar level when they actually start the event.
Yeah. I mean, when in the first kind of Cape Epic that I did back in 2015, then I knew nothing about kind of training programs, and what I did then was, with my riding partner, we just kept a record of kind of how much riding we were doing and tried to make sure that we were kind of reasonably evenly matched there. So I guess that's an alternative for people who perhaps haven't signed up or want to do their own thing.
Yeah, so I would recommend that, and just as I mentioned previously, keeping each other accountable to your training and to the preparation is a nice way to ensure that you're both doing the required work. I don't want to let you down if we are racing together, and hopefully other way around as well. So having that at the back of your mind when you have to get up early morning some days and go and train is some nice motivation.
Sure. No, and it's, let's face it, it's tough getting up, day after day at 5 o'clock in the morning, and if I ever had to race with you, Mike, I'd be very afraid. It's still going to be quite difficult for two people to arrive at the line at precisely the same level of fitness. What kind of tips can you give to to perhaps a riding partner who knows that they're kind of slightly stronger in terms of the psychology of doing a 4-day event? And ensuring that the end result is a happy one.
So 100%, as you mentioned, even if you both prepared optimally, there might be days where I'm strong if we're racing together, and other days where you're stronger if we're racing together. And it might even vary from day to day. The best is to look after your partner. If you are stronger on the day, to not simply ride 10 meters in front of your partner. When you're riding with a partner, you want to always be working together, because it remains a team sport. Riding with a partner is a team sport, and you are only going to be as strong as the weakest link. And hopefully the objective of team racing is that the two of you actually cross the line faster than what you would have done by yourself. And you are able to achieve this through working together. And what I say working together means you would want to ride close together so that the stronger rider is able to shelter the weaker rider off from the wind. That doesn't mean the stronger rider always has to be in the front. There are some partnerships and some individuals that prefer and ride a lot better in front if they are weaker on the day. So if you are struggling, or if your partner is struggling, you need to read the situation give him a chance up front. If it is up a climb, let him pace the climb, release the pressure. Sometimes that also assists your partner in riding better. So you need to read it, but the worst thing to do is to ride 10 meters or even further in front of him. You need to stay closely together, you need to communicate and assist each other to be able to cross the line together in, as I mentioned, a faster time than what you would have done individually.
Yeah, no, and that's certainly been my experience. I mean, certainly one of the issues, though, that I've personally found and I see in other riders, has been that, in climbing, it can be a little bit of a challenge because people don't always naturally climb at kind of the same pace. So, I always had a plan that, that we would kind of regroup at the top of a hill if we kind of found ourselves getting separated. And I think with that rule, we both kind of accepted that, that we weren't going to climb side by side.
So yeah, and I wouldn't agree with that strategy. As I mentioned previously, you'd want to stay together. And my answer would be, if you are stronger, David, I would appreciate a little push. So I would appreciate a little hand on my back, or for you to offer your pocket. Because at the end of the day, we're a partnership. Unless it's a completely different story on the flats, if I'm a lot stronger on the flats. But normally if you're going to be strong on the climbs, you're going to be stronger during the rest of the day. Okay. So I would suggest you rather stay with your partner and assist him. If he doesn't physically want help, to rather actually sit behind him and provide moral support instead of breaking him down further by riding far in front of him or by standing at the top of the hill waiting for him.
Yeah, that may explain why we came last, actually. So Mike, we've talked about how partners should communicate with each other actually during the event. What about before the start line?
Well, before you actually get to the event or before you start the event, it's important to align your goals. So you've got to have the discussion and understanding about what you want to get out of the race. And align that to your own goals. If I want to win the race and you simply want to finish, it is not going to be a happy event for both of us because our goals aren't aligned. So you need to ensure that both have the same goal in mind when approaching the race. And
so part of that strategy, once you get into the kind of the nitty-gritty, is going to be about, how often you're going to stop and how you're going to work that plan during the event itself.
Yes, so during the event and during each stage, there'll be various water points along the way, which some people would choose to stop at and some might choose to go through. So leading into the water point depends on your goals. You might have the chat and you might communicate with your partner to find out if he needs to stop, how much fuel he's got in his bottles, how many mils he's got left in his bottles, how much food he's got on him, whether it is essential to stop. If, for example, then I'm feeling a lot stronger and we do need to stop, you may choose as a partnership to send me up to go fill water bottles or to go grab food so that you can ride straight through and thereby saving some time. But again, these are little strategies which needs to be aligned to your goals. So that might work really well if both of you have the same goal of doing really, really well. If you both simply want to finish, then it might be a better strategy to stop and enjoy your time at the water points.
Right. Yeah, that is a kind of an interesting aside. So, I've always been told that, you want to kind of be reasonably efficient at the water point, that you're not going to recover there, and you do kind of need to be moving on quite swiftly. Is that right? Or,
I would tend to agree. So you're not going, a lot of people waste a lot of time at the water points. You're not going to recover through spending 3 or 4 minutes trying to look for a muffin or a piece of banana bread. So you want to try and get through there as quickly as possible. So if you are able to refuel on the go, that is the ideal scenario. So ideally, if you're weak or if you're struggling, for your partner to just get there a little bit before you, pass you what you need, and you are able to go immediately would be a benefit. And that is one area where a partnership can be really beneficial.
Mike, thanks very much. I think that's provided some really useful tips in terms of how to ride with your partner, and I'll certainly be deploying some of those in my own riding in PE to PLETT.
Oh, thanks, Dave, and thanks for the opportunity. Most important to remember is to go out and have fun. So we discussed a lot of areas that pertains to the more competitive rider, but everybody should be going out there and simply having fun, riding together with your partner, supporting each other to have the most fun possible.
Sure, that's absolutely, I think, what we're about. So thanks again for watching. This was the 4th video in this series. If you haven't watched the first 3, they're available on the Prudential website under the Insights page. And we'd recommend those to you as well, about training and about on-bike nutrition. Thanks again and have a great ride.